What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NFL Week 1 top DFS picks. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for this week's NFL slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, NFL is back. Let's take a look at this 12-game main slate. So at the quarterback position, I like Drew Brees from the New Orleans Saints playing the Tampa Bay Bucks, who have the 9th worst defense overall, and they give up the 9th most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. Drew Brees has averaged 20.8 fantasy points per game on the season. We're talking about last year's stats here. These stats are going to update after week 1, but we're using last season's stats here. And he scored 10, 22, and 23 fantasy points in the last 3 games. He's projected at 18.7 fantasy points here in week 1. He's 8,100 FanDuel salary and 1,300 less on DraftKings. Vegas thinks there's going to be 49 points scored in this game, so a high scoring game, and they have the New Orleans Saints only favored by 3.5. So we got a close game here. We know Tom Brady is now with the Tampa Bay Bucks, so he should be able to keep it close and competitive. This is a home game for Drew Brees, so I like Drew Brees here versus the Tampa Bay Bucks. Okay, let's take a look at the running back position. I like Miles Sanders from the Philadelphia Eagles playing the Washington Redskins, or the Washington football team, who have the 4th worst defense overall, and they give up the 3rd most fantasy points to opposing running backs. Miles Sanders averaged 12.1 fantasy points per game on the season. He was getting an average of about 4 targets per game and 11.2 rushes per game. But in the last game he played, he got 14 rush attempts, he got 5 pass targets, so he's right around that 20 touches per game mark. In his last 3 games, he scored 9, 7, and 24 fantasy points. I'm expecting him to have a big game to open up week 1. He's projected at 15.7 fantasy points here in week 1. He's 6,800 FanDuel salary and 500 less on DraftKings. Vegas thinks there's going to be 43 points scored in this game, and they have the Eagles favored by 3.5. So I like Miles Sanders here versus the Washington football team. Real quick guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all the tools for NFL, MLB is still going, NBA is right around the corner. This is a great time to get in and try everything for 1 month. The tools are all about saving research time. You can see the last 3 games, the fantasy points per game, the targets they got per game, so you can see how involved they are in the offense, the rushes they got per game. Seeing all this stuff on one screen helps you save time and make better picks. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, let's take a look at the wide receiver position. I like Christian Kirk from the Arizona Cardinals playing the San Francisco 49ers, who have a good defense overall, and they're middle of the pack defending opposing wide receivers. Christian Kirk averaged 10.3 fantasy points per game on the season last year, getting an average of 8.2 targets per game. He even gets a rush attempt or 2 each game. He's on the field for 75% of the snaps. He scored 10, 1, and 8 fantasy points in the last 3 games. He's projected at 8.7 fantasy points here in week 1. He's only 5,800 FanDuel salary, and he's 800 less on DraftKings. Vegas thinks there's going to be 47.5 points scored in this game, and they have the Cardinals trailing by 7. So you got a nice passing game script. I think Christian Kirk is going to get a ton of targets here in week 1. So I like Christian Kirk here versus the San Francisco 49ers. Okay, moving on to the tight end position. I like Zach Ertz from the Philadelphia Eagles playing the Washington football team, who have the 4th worst defense overall, and they give up the 4th most fantasy points to opposing tight ends. Zach Ertz has averaged 11.4 fantasy points per game on the season last year. He got an average of 9 targets per game, and he was on the field for 80% of the snaps. He's projected at 11.2 fantasy points here in week 1. He's $6,600 FanDuel salary and $900 less on DraftKings. Vegas thinks there's going to be 43 points scored in this game. They have the Eagles favored by 3.5. So I like Zach Ertz here versus the Washington football team. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.